always aware of your surroundings, what you're doing, what you're saying, how you're treating somebody, what you're doing to them. Because unfortunately, there's always a reaction or a consequence for everything. Even if you're friends, even if you're an acquaintance, a coworker, whatever, doesn't make any difference. They could be a long-lost cousin from your husband's side of the family 2 generations down, for all you know. You gotta be careful. We all do. We all slip. But are you a big enough person to get up, dust yourself off, and admit you were wrong if you were? Can you apologize to your friend if you said something idiotic to them, or called them a name or something because you were upset, frustrated, whatever the case may be? I hope so. Because believe it or not, words hurt, and you can't take them back. That's the thing. You can't take them back. Whether it's a past friend, a present friend, it doesn't matter. Words still hurt. Not physically, but they do. They hurt feelings quite a bit. I should know. I open my big mouth at times too. Don't feel lonely. I'm not trying to judge anybody. You know, my friends accept me though. I'm a sarcastic joker. That's just who I am. I guess it's a defense mechanism. Who knows? I mean it in fun, but hey, not everybody understands it either. It makes it interesting, difficult sometimes. But if you're really a friend, if you really do care about each other as a friend, there are a lot of those things you can get past. I know I can. Mainly it's the stealing that really bothers me. I don't like liars either, but again, stealing and lying, I don't know. That to me, they run neck and neck, really. But I always figure you treat others as you want to be treated, whether you're friends, acquaintances, co-workers, or family. I've lived to learn all. It's taken me years to learn all this, and to this day, I'm still learning. And I'm in my mid-40s, but I've always believed everybody learns something every day. No matter how old you get, you're always learning. No matter who you are, where you are. Just remember that. And if you have got friends, and they're true, and you get along, you're going to make mistakes, you're not always going to agree, but make sure that don't put that friendship in jeopardy. Don't do it. It's not worth it. Friends are too hard to come by. People that are down to earth, that don't steal, don't lie, and live a decent life are hard to come by. But we have to remember, people do fall on hard times, including friends, including family, everybody. We're so quick to judge them though. We're so quick to judge them by their looks, by their skin color, by the way they keep their hair, their house, whatever. Maybe they don't have a lot of money. Maybe they get judged for where they have their house or where they live. Really shouldn't be done like that. I wouldn't want it done like that. I wouldn't want to be judged for where I live or how I live. Hey, again, it falls under human. Make mistakes, errors. It's how we learn. You learn from your friends too if you stop and pay attention and listen. But there are people out there, like myself, they're stubborn, hard-headed, and bullheaded. And will listen, but it usually is after I've learned it the hard way. That's the sad part. Thankfully, I've learned over the years that you really got to be careful what you say and how you act. You got to be careful who you say as a friend, who you call a friend. Gotta even be more careful nowadays of who you invite in your home, because you just don't know. Unfortunately, it's gotten that bad. It is so bad now that the country is divided. Not just us. Everybody's divided. Sad. But we can make a difference. Just make sure you make the difference with people that are your friends, that are real. Not trying to play a game on you or get something out of you. But that's not a friend. If they're just using you, they're not friends. They really aren't. Believe me, I've made that mistake many times. You won't be the only one that, oh yeah, that strikes home a little bit here and there. Sure it does. It does for me, big time. But if you do, make sure you hang on to those friends. They're dear and near to you. They're not easy to come by. Just make sure they know it. Make sure they treat you like you want to be treated. Everybody deserves respect. Everybody deserves respect and consideration. Don't worry. Past is, I always say, past is past. And it is usually. Usually it is. But there are some things, even if your friends pass, whoever it is, there's still things that you have to deal with, good and bad. Maybe it's sad, I don't know. God knows if it's sad, it's not good. But you just gotta find a way to work through it somehow. Everybody deals with it differently, handles it differently. It really is up to each individual, family, whatever. Whoever it is, whoever falls under that category. God knows I don't know how to explain it all, because I don't know it all. I do know that I'm a very lucky person to have good friends. Here in San Antonio, Missouri, California, they're all over the place. But I wouldn't change a thing. I never would. My friends, I've known some, and even the ones that are friends, true friends, real friends, they're like family to me too. I'd do anything for them. Anything for them if I could, as long as it's not against the law or immoral. But either way, it's all going to depend on who, what, where, and why. Everybody has their own values, thoughts, beliefs. That's fine. It's what makes the world go around, people. Everybody's different. Everybody's different. We just got to remember that. We've got to try hard not to label and judge before we know who they are. Even if they do fall in hard times, even if they are, gotta see them through it. Stand by them. Maybe you can't help them financially. Maybe you can't give them a place to live or to stay. But you can be there for them. You can give them that moral support. Good. Won't hurt. You have time here or there. It's one thing about friends, especially if they're true friends and not just players. They'll have your back every time. I would do anything in the world that I could to help my friends. I'd go to the other side of the continent if I could to help them. But I'll tell you what, they've been here for me. I've had some down times. Came in some hard times too. Had some good times. But I'll tell you what, no matter what the situation is, I wouldn't change a thing when it comes to my friends. It was the best thing that happened to me in a long time. I'm not a big social bug, and I'm a little standoffish at first. But it really depends on the situation, how it goes. I can warm up pretty quick, You know? You'll know. Especially if you meet new people. And everybody should meet new people. You don't know how long you have here on this earth. There's only one person that knows, and that's God. I'm not here to preach or push religion off anybody, but do me a favor and stop and think about this, because it's a good conversation. What do you consider a friend? What boundaries, what do you consider no, you can't tolerate? What's a deal breaker? Would it be stealing, lying? I don't know. Using? Taking advantage of you? I don't know what the deal would be. Everybody's going to have a different belief and boundary they don't want crossed. I told you my two. I am curious if there's anybody out there that would tell me, because I'd like to know, really. Not that there's anything I can do about it. I can't change it. But I am curious. I am curious. I've asked questions before and gotten no response, but hey, maybe you didn't have time. Who knows? Maybe you just weren't that interested in the subject. But hey, I'm open to ideas. But I am curious what you consider a friend. What are some of the things you'd look for? Would you look? Would you ask questions? I mean, what do you do? What would you do? Even if it's a friend that you knew way back when, would you try to get to know them again? I don't know. I would. I'm doing it currently. And seeing him in a long time. It's good to see him. Good to have him back. I got separated from him, moved, did different things. Heck, I lived in Missouri for a while. Most of the time, especially during the winter, I was usually iced in or snowed in. But I don't want to talk about it. It sounds too cold, really. But anyway, it's neither here nor there. But I'd certainly like to know. You can certainly send me an email. I've given it to you many times, but if you'd like to send an answer, you can do so at bdhammond45@gmail.com. I'd be interested to see it and get your definition of a friend, because there's many definitions of a friend, and everybody's is probably going to be different. Different reasons. I don't know. But I'd certainly like to know. And if you have an idea of something you'd like to hear talked about, or you'd like to get involved with, maybe we could talk about it. Who knows? I'd be open to that too. Anytime. I don't do this cast very often, but I do hope that the people that do listen are getting something out of it. Because I am really trying to put more positive out there. I'm trying to get people to think. Because too much is going on to not. We can't be hermits. Although it is safer, you're right. But it gets kind of lonely after a while, I'm sure. And meeting people and getting to know them, although it's scary and can be nerve-wracking at times, because you don't know what to expect. Most of the time you get fumble-tongued. You don't know what to say. But there are decent people out there. I know. I do know. Although a lot of my friends are from years, and I've had them for years and years and years. But I also have just met some. But I couldn't ask for better friends. I wouldn't change a thing. I never would. But everybody's definition of a friend is different. Everybody will have different boundaries, thoughts, beliefs, and that's fine. By all means. Like I said, I'm glad not everybody's the same. It'd be very boring if we were.